Welcome to Being at Home with George. I'm excited to be here, and let's start the way we normally start, which is embracing, saying yes to whatever comes up, and at the same time, generating hope. And what enables us to be able to do that more efficiently and effectively is having this time to be with ourselves, a time to check in with ourselves. Joseph Campbell in The Power of Myth talked about this idea of having a sacred space and time to be with ourselves where we're not engaged in what's happening in the news, what we owe people, what people owe us. It's another way of saying just setting aside work, love, and play and all of the activities of the day, either before or going forward, and just being in the now and being with ourselves in the here and now. And why is that important? Because we have this still small voice that's easily drowned out. And so to be able to just tune into ourselves, to look inside and to sense, how are we feeling? What's the body feel like? And so that we can actually be with ourselves and assess where we are and knowing what we need. And so this is really, really important to be able to do that. And I'll give you an example. Coming out here to Sacramento. I'm in sunny Sacramento. I had to come out here to work with a client. And so I left Boston Logan Airport at a 6 o'clock flight. So that meant I had a 4 a.m. pickup. And so you might imagine there's not a lot of time to really be able to be with yourself when you're getting picked up at 4 a.m. And so I got to the airport. And then once I got to the airport and got into my seat, I had 15, 20 minutes to just sit there and just be with myself, even though I was in a crowd, even though I was in a public space, you might say. I was able to just tune in and just to get a sense for how I'm feeling and what's going on inside my body and what's the next thing, what's the next play to make. And to me, it was really about just recollecting, gathering myself, and then being ready for the journey. And in my case, I didn't really get to sleep that night. So for me, it was really important that when I tuned in, my body said, okay, we need to sleep. And so I was in the men's section of JetBlue, so your seat would go flat. And so I slept for a couple of hours. And so that's really important because there's been times when I would push through that and not really recognize the need to do that. But also it's just to remember, okay, I'm leaving home and I'm about to go on a journey to work with a client. And so all of the things that I had to do just to be able to go, I need to let go of and just focus on what's important now, that win. And just tune into the body and mind, and then to be in that silence, that stillness, where I can rest and reboot and renew. But the main thing is this idea of having these pockets of stillness or times when I could just be with myself. And it's helpful when I have the Bose noise canceling, so I can put those on. And it's interesting because on this trip, 6-hour trip, that the console in front of us, the DVD in front of us, was not working. So we couldn't watch movies or we couldn't do anything other than just to be there and to be in the silence. And of course, I figured out later that I could just connect my computer with, I have a external drive with movies and documentaries that I could watch. But the main thing is, it's just to settle in and just to be with myself and to be silent and to listen to that still small voice that is a source of tremendous wisdom, tremendous insight, and that I have instincts that I need to listen to. And to be able to do that, especially in the chaos and everything else that's going on, we need to have these pockets of stillness or these moments when we're in our sacred space where we can let go of everything and just be with ourselves and be intimate with ourselves in the sense of knowing how the body feels, knowing what's on the mind, understanding what's in our heart, and understanding that we can connect. And this idea of be still and know that there's a powerful way of connecting with ourselves and with our world and with reality when we can just be still and know, when we can have this sacred space where it's just me, myself, and I.